Hello. I've just had a rather strange experience in our local, one of our local towns called Gainsborough. It's a bit of a shithole. It started off me driving into Gainsborough, and as soon as I got in there, I saw a man arguing with a lamppost. I'm not just talking about, he was, having a little talk with the lamppost. He was having a proper argument, and so that started it off. Then I parked up, and I like to go to a little shop in town. So I walked to this shop, and there was a group of guys outside the shop, probably about 8 of them, asking me if I was all right. And I was just like, "Yeah, you all right?" And they kind of chuckled, and I walked in the shop. Anyway, when I got in the shop, I asked the shop owner about the guy talking to the lamppost, and he said, that guy's always about. And he took me to the front of the shop and showed me 2 other lampposts out of the window. And he said that 2 days ago, this same guy was arguing with both the lampposts. But it appeared that, to him, the shop owner, it appeared like, the lampposts were talking. Not because the shop owner's nuts, but because of the mannerisms of the guy. He was like stopping and going, like listening to the lampposts while they argued, and then he argued with it. And he said it got very heated. I then asked the shop owner if he was a kind of harmless guy, and he said, "Oh yeah, he's harmless. He's, he just argues with lampposts all the time." So that was that. And I said my goodbyes, opened the door, and then I was amongst these guys again who were seemingly waiting for me. They kind of crowded round me a bit, and the lead honcho started talking to me. He asked me if I was all right again, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. How are you doing?" And they were kind of chuckling again, and then he started asking me if I wanted some pregabalin, and I didn't know what pregabalin was at the time. I found out later, and I'll tell you in a minute if you don't know. I was just really confused. Why is this guy asking me if I want pregabalin? It doesn't sound like a drug I've ever heard of. And so I that was that. I was like, "Oh no thanks, I don't want any pregabalin or whatever it is," and kind of made myself through the wedge of people and walked off. And while I walked off, they were laughing at me. And I found that very odd. So I got on the phone on the internet, and I researched pregabalin, and it's an anti-anxiety drug. So that was odd, because basically he must have been trying to insinuate that I was anxious, to do with them like crowding round me, and I wasn't. And then they were laughing at it like I was anxious. Like they've achieved something. Very odd. When I was a teenager, I used to get called a gringo, and then someone would try and punch me, and that was a lot simpler. Way simpler than this kind of weird pharmaceutical drug talk about an antidepressant. Just seemed really complicated. So that was it, and I made my way home and told the kids, and that made them laugh.